It's July 3rd, and the strange side of history awaits. Today, we have two musical icons gone too soon, a steam engine breaking records, and a stone finally returned home after 100 years. Let's begin. On July 3rd, 1969, one of rock music's first greatest shadows fell. Brian Jones, a founding member of the Rolling Stones, was found dead at the bottom of his swimming pool at Cochford Farm in Sussex, England. He was only 27. The official ruling was drowning by misadventure. A young musician, once the center of one of the biggest bands in the world, gone in the dark water outside his own home. Then, exactly 2 years later, the date returned. On July 3rd, 1971, Jim Morrison, the voice of The Doors, was found dead in a bathtub in his apartment in Paris. He was also 27. His death was listed as a heart failure, but no official autopsy was performed, and the silence left room for rumors, theories, and questions that never fully disappeared. Two rock icons, the same age, the same date. Over time, coincidence became part of something larger and stranger, the legend of the 27 Club, a pattern people could not stop noticing of musicians dying at 27. They were the same age, the same date, and both deaths still carry unanswered questions. On July 3rd, 1938, a blue machine came steaming down England like it was trying to outrun itself. It was called the Mallard. Built by Sir Nigel Gresley, the streamlined locomotive looked less like a train and more like a steel arrow, painted garter blue and shaped for speed. That day, on the sloped track of Stoke Bank near Grantham, the Mallard was given a chance to make history. At the controls was Joseph Dunnington. Beside him, fireman Thomas Bray fed the engines as pressure built and the rails began to tremble. Behind them were 6 coaches and a special car for recording every second of the run. And then the Mallard began to fly. The speed climbed higher and higher until they reached 123 miles per hour. Moments after that great burst of speed, the engine's central bearing began overheating. The machine had been pushed so hard, it was damaged. The Mallard finished its journey slowly, carrying the record like a secret. It later ran more than 1.5 million miles before retiring in 1963. Today, it sits preserved at the National Railway Museum in York. The Mallard still holds the record today, which makes the one dangerous run feel even more legendary. On July 3rd, 1996, a stone that had been silent for 700 years was finally called home. It was known as the Stones of Scone, or, more ominously, the Stones of Destiny. For centuries, Scottish kings had been crowned above it, but in 1296, King Edward I of England took the ancient red sandstone slab from Scotland and carried it south as a prize of conquest. It had been placed beneath the coronation chair at Westminster Abbey, where generations of English and British monarchs were crowned above it. A stolen symbol, a royal relic, a silent witness of the weight of an empire. Then, exactly 700 years after it was taken, British Prime Minister John Major stood in the House of Commons and announced the stone would be returned to Scotland. The slab weighed 458 pounds, and it was carefully removed from the coronation chair and transported north. On November 30th, St. Andrew's Day, it arrived in Edinburgh Castle, and today it rests beside the honours of Scotland. Another day, another strange bite from history. Like, comment, and subscribe. Your next eerie dose is just a day away.